Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Senator Barrasso. I truly appreciate the opportunity to introduce my personal friend, Larry EchoHawk, today to the committee on this important occasion. I'm pleased that President Obama has nominated Larry for the important position of Assistant Secretary for Interior for Indian Affairs. Our fellow Idahoans are rightly proud that some of his greatest political and professional successes have been during his time in Idaho. And I congratulate Larry and his wife Terry and their children and grandchildren on this distinct honor for this selection. Larry's diverse background and professional experiences make him an outstanding candidate for this position. Although his Pawnee tribe background has made him many times a first in elective office, Larry's real legacy is the high regard in which he is held by so many who have worked with him. Larry served as Bannock County prosecuting attorney and as a two-term member of the Idaho State House of Representatives. He and I served in the state legislature together. He as a member of the House and I as a member of the Senate until the time that he then ran for and was elected to be the Attorney General of the state of Idaho. And I remember times sitting down at dinner after a legislative session in Boise, Idaho, and talking about how to improve government, just as Larry and I did have the opportunity to do so a couple of nights ago here in Washington, D.C. I know him and his work well and his commitment, and I'm very confident in his service. Since his time in elective office, Larry has taught criminal law and Native American law at Brigham Young University, which is our alma mater, where I understand you also played football. Larry is also the senior partner of the EchoHawk Law Offices, which have among their clients the Shoshone-Bannock tribes of Fort Hall Indian Reservation in Idaho, to which you've been, I think, general counsel since 1977. The challenge for the Bureau of Indian Affairs remains the same as it ever was, to do as much as possible to fulfill the trustee responsibility of the federal government for the Native Americans. Unfortunately, I agree with the chairman, while so much has been done, for too long now this trustee responsibility has suffered through periods characterized by confusion, neglect, underfunding, conflict, and miscommunication. While much has been done in recent years to address the historic problems plaguing the Bureau-administered programs, so much more needs to be done. Per-person outlays for tribal health services, while never a perfect measure of a program's effectiveness, lag well behind comparative spending through Medicare and Medicaid. Investments in tribal education, justice, housing, and transportation are also chronically shortchanged. And I realize we can't expect that Larry will change this overnight, but I'm confident that he will make great strides in improving this circumstance and look forward to working with him. Funding issues are not the only way to help our tribes. Appropriate respect for sovereignty is also a persistent challenge that the federal government can help promote by example. In our state, the federally recognized tribes have demonstrated tribal capacity to be a real player in problem solving. The Nez Perce tribe provides the monitoring of the wolf recovery on behalf of the federal and state governments. The Kootenai tribe is the first tribe to sign an MOU with the Department of Homeland Security to use its identity cards for valid cross-border travel and manages important salmon hatcheries that help us recover endangered fish stocks. The Shoshone-Paiutes in the southwest Idaho played a major part in bringing to fruition the Owyhee Initiative Management Statute that we just passed here in the Senate. The Coeur d'Alene tribe remains a major partner in the implementation of the Lake Management Plan for Coeur d'Alene. And the Shoshone-Bannock tribes, as Larry knows well, are a major leader in the environmental protection of southeast Idaho. Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, I believe Larry EchoHawk has the background and the temperament to bring proper attention to the needs and the problems facing our nation's tribes. His service in the public and in the private sector, as well as his role as a Native American pioneer, demonstrate the capacity to do well in the difficult position of Assistant Secretary for Indian Affairs. As a fellow Idahoan and an advocate for Idaho's tribes, I'm pleased to present Larry EchoHawk to the committee for Senate consideration. And if he's confirmed, I look forward to working with him again in his new position to promote the needs of Native Americans. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.